What a handsome man, a tall guy.
Roblox is facing massive liability and huge legal trouble in a swarm of litigation, particularly as Louisiana hits it with what may be a killer lawsuit and may be copied by states and even countries around the world. We're going to get into that today on the Legal Mindset. We teach you to be your own judge. I'm Andrew Esquire, an American attorney, and of course is a Fast Facts video, the quick and dirty version of the latest in legal news. If you like the Fast Facts, make sure to like and comment on the video below. Now, today's topic is Louisiana versus Roblox, and we're going to focus on that and give you a little background here. We've got, of course, the intro PowerPoint and the pelican feeding its children its own blood. Very interesting flag of Louisiana there, because this is under Louisiana law. Now, I try to be entertaining whenever I can, but today's topic is a somber topic. It is a serious topic. So please be respectful in the comments. And if you're watching this as a premiere
Yes.
with the live chat,
Please be respectful always. The room is kind of cold. I can't live in America. Here in the Philippines, 25 degrees Celsius of aircon is making me cold already.
make sure you're respectful in the chat as well, because once again, this is a very serious topic. This is something that very many people are sensitive to and have bad experiences with. We're going to be talking about child predation, which is a very, very sensitive topic. So please approach that with some sensitivity and some care for other human beings here. And today, of course, I'm going to be a little bit more serious on this one. So Roblox is a popular game amongst children and teens, and it has been promoted as, even by the company, the #1 game for children and teens. And mainstream media, as you see here, has backed this up for the last couple of years, even going back to the COVID era. It's been something that has been widely promoted for children. Now, there's been a problem, and one of the problems is that certain people within the game have been going after minors, have been targeting minors specifically, and that's a problem.
And that's a problem for not just Roblox. This is a problem for the whole internet. Okay? This is not just in Roblox. This happens in TikTok. This happens in Instagram and Facebook. Okay? It's just that Roblox is a game that you can deceive kids that you are also a kid. That's the difference.
So,
But you can also do it online, but please don't.
seeing that problem, some YouTubers and some people out there, content creators, other people, individuals, right, vigilante groups, have gone out and dedicated themselves to finding these individuals and turning them over to law enforcement.
And they are not paid for doing this by the Roblox itself. Okay, let's take note of that. They are only earning on the views and the subs, maybe if they're streaming. That's the sole way that they're earning. Roblox itself doesn't support them.
One of those channels, this is just an example of one person, is Schlepp. And Schlepp went out there and went after people and got a lot of people in trouble. You can see here a number of people,
Ooh.
predator, caught, predator. I mean, this guy was pretty dedicated to coming after people. But as you see here, Roblox.
Yeah, these kinds of people are so like new wave of like archangels. I can say they are a new wave of archangels. Okay.
Threatened to sue me for protecting kids. Not only did they ban this guy from the game, but they threatened to sue him for actually going out and turning over predators to law enforcement. Absolutely insane stuff. Now, we'll get into the response. This response was really crazy. So when people pushed back and said, well, why are you doing this? Why are you banning these vigilante groups? Why are you banning people like Schlepp? Well, it turns out what they were concerned about is the privacy of the predators, saying due to privacy considerations, we can't talk about this. Well, why are we so
privacy of the predators? You really care about that? They're criminals. Before, in the early age, they criminals are, do you call this, embarrassed in front of people. They are they will be stoned to death. And you guys, my God.
Concern with people that have been confirmed arrested by law enforcement, many of which have been already adjudicated, have been locked up. Now, I understand the principle of innocent until proven guilty. However, there's a substantial amount of evidence here.
Yes.
And for a person like Schlepp, who goes out here and finds these predators, the risk is on him. Because if Schlepp goes out and calls somebody a predator and does not have sufficient proof of that, he could be very guilty of defamation and super liable for going out and calling people.
Yes. He's putting himself on the line by doing this, and not even compensated by the company that he's working for, Roblox, by doing this.
That I think it's something that people take a massive risk if you go out and label something as that. That's a criminal label. If you're labeling someone as a criminal, you need to be damn well certain, and this is worth cursing for, you need to be very certain that they are actually that. So they've gone out and done that research. They've gotten the evidence. They've gotten the Carfax. They've turned them over to law enforcement. Many of them have been arrested. But we're still concerned about the privacy of predators. And beyond that, what they ask is, and there was
They care about the privacy of the predators. Oh my God. Oh my God. Those people that are doing bad things should be private. Oh my God. Oh my God. Let's make the bad people not be seen by the public so that we have a happy world. Oh my God.
response was, what people should do is report it immediately to the standard channels. Well, as you're going to see, the standard channels fail. And once again, this is the response of Roblox. Report it to the standard channels. The standard channels aren't working.
Bro, the vigilantes are working with police. They don't need to go to your channels. They don't have to. They have enough evidence. They work with police. They work with the law.
Minors are being preyed upon in your game. Whatever you have there is not sufficient to stop the harm. So this was not taken well at all. And now Roblox is facing dozens, you'd even say hundreds. You've got over a case filed in California, adds more than 300 lawsuits.
Oh my gosh! 300 losses for a company. Oh, how you will deal with this? If you didn't ban these people who are the vigilantes, you will not have this like 300 lawsuits. Okay? You will not be in the spotlight.
Accusing the gaming giant of ignoring warnings about exploitive content and failing to protect children. And that's just one single federal case. Now we have the state of Louisiana coming in, and this is massive because this is a state leveraging its power. And when you get this sort of power, it has the power to change Roblox altogether. And while Louisiana may be the first to sue, I'm very certain they won't be the last. I'm very certain other states will follow suit because they are also going to want to protect the interests of minors. That is in the fundamental interest of most states and even most countries around the world. So let's get into the facts of this case. So Louisiana filed this case August 14th with the state attorney general.
This is the way that I like in Legal Mindset content. He always um list the facts and then um talk about it word by word or phrase by phrase. This is how you how you create an intellectual content. This is very good. Thumbs up, legal mindset.
General. Other states are highly likely to follow because they're suing under Deceptive and Fair Trade Practices Act, as well as negligence, public nuisance, and unfair enrichment. Now, if you've been paying attention on my channel, if you've been awake in watching my channel on other things, just talking about Twitch, talking about other platforms, I have talked about deceptive and unfair trade practices as being one of the massive regulatory hammers that a lot of companies are just asking to get hit with. So you really need to ask yourself, not just in the case of Roblox, but what other companies are failing to provide warnings, are failing to provide significant safety measures. This is something that does not just apply to Roblox, but can apply broadly across the board. And a lot of digital businesses have gotten away for years with thinking that they can just do whatever they want because it's online, right? We have protection, it's online. Well, no, you do not have protections from these sort of liabilities, these sort of regulations. You are not immune from your duty to protect minors. Law enforcement, in fact, Louisiana law enforcement arrested a predator in Livingston Parish, Louisiana, who was using Roblox with a female voice changer to lure in minors, lure them off platform to other, Snapchat, etc. So there are tangible people being harmed. There are real people being harmed. This is not a theoretical thing. So let's get into the key accusations. The key accusations are that Roblox knowingly enabled and facilitated the systematic sexual exploitation of children across the United States. Systematic. That means broadly.
Roblox knowingly enabled and facilitated the systematically sexual exploitation of children across the US. How about the other countries? They're doing this into other countries also.
And that they permitted and perpetuated an online environment in which children predators thrive, directly contributing to the widespread victimization of minor children. That's deep. They deliberately failed to implement effective safety measures and failed to warn parents. So all of this goes back to deceptive and unfair trade practices. They marketed themselves as safe for kids, but in fact, they were quite the opposite. Kids were pretty much open season on Roblox.
Yes. As I said in the stream earlier about in the video in Asmogold's take on this. I have a friend. His child is actually the couple is my friend. Their child is scammed in Roblox. That's all I can say. And I said the other things in the other video. You can check on that.
You hear the procedure. This is a state case because it's arising under state law, Louisiana law. Every state has Deceptive and Unfair Trade Practices Act with slight variations. Roblox is a California-based business, but they do business in Louisiana, so jurisdiction and venue in Louisiana is proper. It is unlikely to be removed to a federal case unilaterally, meaning if
Roblox is doing business all over the world. Actually, if every state all over the world file a lawsuit against Roblox, this will be massive. As I said, I'm here in the Philippines, and my friend has the experience of that. It's not just on states, okay? This happens around the world. This happens around the world. Okay?
Roblox tries is probably not going to work. Now, if several states bring these claims, it might be possible for these states to join into a federal claim or something else like that. A federal claim might be able to come out of this, but just at this point, this will be in Louisiana. Let's talk about the facts. Roblox has 6.5 million experiences. Mind that word experiences. That's kind of a single environment in which Roblox completely controls. They're free, easy to access, and designed for kids. The app comparison, and they use this in the complaint, which I've read the entirety of, all 42 pages of it, to a digital playground. So Roblox is very comparable to a digital playground because there's no age minimum, and
No age minimum and no age, what you call this, maximum. This is why Roblox is very dangerous. You can play this game if you are a kid, and you can play this game if you are an adult. Okay? Okay? There's no filtering what your age group is. Just imagine in a playground, in a kids playground, if some bad mannered adults came there and just kidnap children. That's how it works. I mean, that's how it compares this. There's no age minimum. But unlike on those playgrounds, there must be an age, at least maximum, or said you're not a kid anymore, you can play with these kids. But in those playgrounds, you see this. In those playgrounds, parents should be there for their kids. And Roblox is not. Parents are doing dishes, parents are working, parents are doing around the house. And what the parent sees is just their kids is sitting on the computer playing some games. But they don't know what's happening inside the game. Unlike those real playgrounds for kids in the mall, they see their kids if they're being bullied by other kids. If they're being bullied or pushed by or hurt by other kids, they can see their kids. They can see what's happening in their kids. But you can't see what's happening in the mind of a kid if he's in front of computer or a cell phone or a tablet. That's why I'm always telling this, that minors should not have access to internet, because you can't police them. I mean, not police them. You can't at least be there for them. You won't know what your kids are up to. Not everyone is an IT or as a network engineer who can block pages in their Wi-Fi for their kids. Not everyone is like that. Some parents doesn't have any knowing, or at least knowledge about what their kids are doing in the internet. Maybe they're seeing their accounts, but they don't see their messages. Okay? That's why the safest thing here is to not give kids gadgets, or I mean, at least gadgets is okay, but if it's only LAN, it's okay. Single player game is okay. Some of them are harmful, sending a message or whatsoever. Single player games, okay. But these kids in Roblox are really craving for a play. What they call play. Interaction with other kids. Interaction with other kids. Now, this is the change that I won't say the technology did for us, but somehow it's part of it. But mostly the lockdowns did to the whole world is to digitalize everything. Now, they are addicted to it because everything in that has that's in uh device or technology or in the internet has this mental thing to do with your body. Okay, parents, please, please, please hear me out. Hear me out about this. You don't want your kids to drink alcohol. You don't want your kids to do drugs. You don't want your kids to smoke. Right? But giving them access to internet is like giving them drugs. Giving them drugs. It's like giving them drugs. Okay, I'm repeating myself. It's like giving them drugs. You can ask any psychologist, psychiatrist, or any brain experts about it. It's like giving them drugs. So please stop it. Please stop it. Future parents and those parents that knows what happened to their kid because of the neglect of one of the parent who's supposed to be there for his or her kid. I'm not saying the girl should be there for your kid. It can be a guy. It doesn't matter. What your family structure doesn't matter. You have to be there for your kid. You have to be there for your kid. Not give them not give them this cell phones, computers. It's like giving them a drugs. Okay? If you will go back in time, giving us when I was a kid, giving us a gadget is not that so, I can say that that's so harmful, because we can't reach internet. We can only LAN. We can only play PS2 with other people. And that is interaction. PS1, PS2, interaction. And before that, there's what do you call this? The game that I have with Nintendo and Sega. Sega games for 2 players. We have interaction. Kids wants that with other kids. So parents, please, at least every morning or every afternoon, have your community, your neighbors, have that agreement that your kids will be playing outside, interacting outside, and have that play not to be digitalized. Okay? This won't happen if your kids are outside. Outside, you're looking at them. Of course, you should be looking at them. You should be, you should be there for them. What if they got scratches? Me as a kid, I always fell down. I always have a cut. I always my parents are always laughing at me because I'm a guy that always been has that bleeding. Even though I became a teenager, I go home, my head is bleeding. But that's what I'm saying. That is the point that I'm saying. Your kids want the interaction. That's why they're playing these games. Okay? So if you don't they are just playing these kinds of games because they can have that interaction. Let them have their interaction outside the house, playing with neighbors, playing with neighbors, playing with the community, playing in the playground, and be there for them. Of course, be there for them. No, don't just say, yes, you can go outside. You go outside and play. No, you don't do that. Let's go outside and play. Your kids will love you for doing that. And they will learn social skills. That's why that's what they want to learn here. It's to socialize.
Is targeted for kids. In fact, of the 82.9 million daily active users, 20% are under 9 years old, and the majority, 56%, are under 16 years old. So this is a children's platform. This is a teen and children platform. Definitely minors here by the vast majority.
Wait, just a moment. Currently, 56 or 16 or under. 30% are under 9 years old. This is 76%. It means 17 to 40, 50 are adults. Oh my god. I mean, 76. That was like 13%, 13, 23%, 23%. You're saying 23% of players or users, active users, daily active users. This is daily active users. Sum it up in 82.9 million. Let's say 83 million. 3 times point point 23. 19 million adults are here. Oh my god. Imagine 19 million adults. I don't know how much or how many what is the percentage of the adults that are playing there to victimize kids. That's 19 million daily. Imagine if you let your kids outside. You will play with 5 to 10 people. 3 to 5, 10 people. Or with some dogs that are very good. Right? What's the risk? It's you being lazy. Lazy for your kids. Don't have kids if you will be lazy. They will suffer. They will suffer from your parenting. I am mad because I'm a parent. They will suffer from your parenting. Oh my god. This is actually I said with Asmogold reaction video, but a reaction to this issue in his the camera that is not using for a stream. Have at least have the identification first and segregate those adults. That's 19 million. That's 19 million users. Let them play their own game. 20% under 9 years old, let those 20% play their own game. 56, I didn't know if this is adding up. Okay? I didn't know if this is adding up. 20. If 20 is inside the 56, if you look at it, 16 or under, it means 9 years old, under 9 years old also. If this is 56, that's 42%, 44%. So let's say 83 million times 0.54%. You're risking 44.82. That's around 45 million of adults. 45 million of adults, and even 1% of them are criminals. Still, adults can influence your child. Adults have different views in life. Adults have different thinking. They have their own mind already. Your kid is molding. And as a parent, you are not molding your child. You're letting your child be molded by those 45%, 45 million adults. See? This is not just the lawsuit. This is not just the bad people or the extreme victimizer. This is also who your kids are talking to, who your kids are socializing into. And those adults, they are here because they don't have any family or what. Some of them are degenerate. I didn't say all of them. Some of them are degenerate. Some of them wants to have fun. It's okay. I don't know how many percent, but risking millions. That's millions. Millions of people daily. I hope I get to the point here. This is so bad.
Minors here by the vast majority. The sign up is a big issue. See here, the sign up is a self-verified birthday, username, password. So it's very easy, very simple to bypass this.
Yes, it's very easy to bypass this. You don't need an ID for this. You don't need a birth certificate for this. At least have that kind of verification. Oh my gosh. At least have that kind of verification, Roblox. At least. So that kids will ask their mothers or their fathers, Ma, Pa, can I borrow my birth certificate? I will just play Roblox. See? In that layer, you will already know that your child wants attention, wants interaction. See? You think school is enough? You think letting them go in school is enough? No, it's not. No, it's not. They might be alone in school and you don't know about it. You're not there. You're not there. And in school is a place for learning. Yeah. Part of learning is social interaction skills. But there is a time that you have to be there with your child, interacting with other people, just seeing them, even just listening how they interact into other people. You don't have to look at them and with the grumpy face. You're just there observing. And when you go home, you can tell your kid, oh, John, I don't think that's a good way to say that thing. You say it that way. If you want to play with this person, you say it this way. If you say it that way, he might not understand you. You say it that way. Gosh, this Roblox thing is pissing me off.
Self-reporting birthdays are the weakest of security measures. They're in fact a non-security measure because, as we all know, you can put whatever your birthday is in the past. In fact, I can
Yeah.
say I've signed up for email addresses with a different birthday, right? When I'm just too lazy and I want to fill it in and I know they're not going to check, right? Everybody's done that at some point in their history, right?
Because there's no minimum age.
It's not necessarily criminal, right? However, what it does is it intentionally or recklessly allows fake birthdays. And knowing there's minors on here and there's certain content that is screened by age, it's allowing people that are older to put in that fake birthday and get into those things that should be screened for minors. Roblox has access to biometric age verification but does not utilize it.
You have this. What a waste of money for tech. You have this biometric age verification, but does not utilize it. Do you know how hard it is to program these things? Or maybe you bought it, okay, but you're wasting money. You're wasting money. You're wasting people's efforts. And you are threatening kids. My God.
Until 2024, the default settings turned off parental controls and let adults DM directly.
Oh. Oh. Oh.
Private message kids. And now adults, this has been changed, but adults can still message kids within experiences. So you can have adults talking to children openly. The in-game currency is called Robux and can be exchanged for avatars. Minors are often obsessed with the items for avatars and thus
Yes, minors will be obsessed with toys. Yes, of course. If you go to the mall, they will want to buy a toy. Roblox is teaching is you can earn money digitally and you can buy that, or maybe you can pay your real money and buy that. It's like a digitalized toy. Minors will be always obsessed with toys. That's how kids are designed. Even myself, I'm still obsessed with computers.
predators use this mechanism to lure in children with rare items. It's created the mantra, which they talk about anything for Robux. The further facts say Roblox claims to have a zero tolerance for swearing, obscenities, messages of a sexual or violent nature, and any sort of aggressive, threatening communication. They also state that offenders will be immediately or permanently suspended. However, this is not the case. We have
How can you do that? I mean, there's some games, LOL, Dota 2, they are what they call this, censoring the words and permanently muting a person in the game if they keep on talking
screenshots
bad.
of literal abuse, literal language that is horrible, disgusting in the complaint.
And you can use numbers. You can use numbers. I mean, if you want say sex S3 X, you can use it that way. And many use cases. You can change A with at. You can change other. See? It can't be censored. Bro.
And that's just allowed. These people are not banned. They're just running around in Roblox. And you can see here some experiences. Of course, we have Escape to Epstein Island. And note, it's not rated 17 plus or even 13 plus or even 9 plus. It's rated for all ages. Escape to Epstein Island. This shows there's absolutely
Who did this?
absolutely no due diligence here. You've got Diddy parties all over the place. Nice try, Diddy. Escape the Freaky Party, Diddy Simulator, Road to Diddy's, Diddy Party, Freaky Diddy Simulator. All this sort of stuff going on in Roblox. No chat.
When you think about it, why kids knows Epstein, Diddy? It's because you let them have an access to internet. You know, this is just chain reaction of bad parenting. Okay? And we're putting a blame in a game that is not censoring anything. Yes, they will be liable. But the most liable person here is you, the parent. It's because you're letting your kids be here.
Checks, no balances. The facts are these experiences are problematic. There's sexual simulation experiences, Escape to Epstein Island, Diddy Simulator, Diddy Party, Public Bathroom Simulator, and various racial hate simulators, which once again, all of these have no place with children. No place. Zero place.
Yes.
The public relation campaigns that they're running, that the company themselves are running, they're using these organizations to influence narrative that Roblox is safe and deceptive, but these groups, these safety groups, have conflicts of interest. The board members of Roblox serve on the safety organizations. This harkens back to like the financial crisis, the GFC, where we had the credit bureaus and the mortgage lending agencies kind of working hand in hand, right, to just rate these like bad tranches of mortgages as good mortgages. It harkens back to that, and it just shows, like, once again, how these watchdog agencies can often be co-opted by the same industries they're supposed to regulate. The causes of action are three. The Unfair Practices Act, which essentially looks at the inadequate